You ever been sent to the shop as a man? Is it the loneliest walk in the world with your little list? Walking about like a little broken boy. I've got to go to the shop. I know I'm going to fuck this up. My wife said to me one Sunday a little while ago, "Ocado have let me down, babe. Only you can help me out. You must go to the shop for me." I said, "Go and get my cape, sister. I'm your man, right?" So she gave me a little list. And as I left the house, she said, "Drive to the big Sainsbury's." I said, "No, you're all right. I'm going to walk to the local one." So I get to the local Sainsbury's. I look at the list. The nice ham with the black pepper around the edge. Bollocks. I'm so terrified of going home without it. You have to phone up. "Hello, babe, all right?" Yeah. You know the nice ham with the black pepper around the edge? There's none here. I know I should have gone to the big Sainsbury's. But I'm here now, can we get through it? Have I moved them about a bit? You want me to move them about a bit, dear? What will that achieve? I'm not starting, I'm just saying, what will moving them about achieve? Oh, they go behind each other, do they? Okay, all right, let me just move 60 packets of ham across the... I have to go through this much. No, it's still not here. I know I should have gone to the big Sainsbury's. But can we get through it? Have I asked? You want me to ask, do you? What will that achieve? Oh, well, sometimes they get a delivery late on a Saturday night and they ain't got time to put it out on a Sunday. Right. So how would you know this, given that you worked in the arts for 25 years? I'm not starting, I'm just saying, how would you know the inner workings of Sainsbury's local? Oh, your mate told you, did she? Oh, well, if your mate told you, I better go and ask. And then I have to go and find this poor little Sunday boy here, like in his great big white shirt, his spotty face, his poor 0 hours contract. "Hello, mate, you all right?" My wife really likes the nice ham with the black pepper around the edge. There's none on the shelf, but she said that you get a delivery sometimes late Saturday and you ain't got time to put it out, so you might have some round the back. Is there any chance of having a look for me? I know I should have gone to the big Sainsbury's, but I'm drunk, all right? It's 1:30, I started early. Because this has changed. Everything's changed. I've changed. Messed about most of the 80s, chasing women, wasting my life. It wasn't that much of a waste. Woke up, late 1989. I woke up, I brushed this cocaine off the table. Thought, oh, what the fuck have I done there? Could have masturbated again. It's a very glamorous drug. Anyway, I went back to evening classes. I went back to night school. Via the Open University, I eventually went to full-time university. Yes, I was enjoying it, but the accent's causing problems again. I'm speaking up during the lecture. I know everyone's thinking, fucking hell, the window cleaner's came, hasn't he? But I've got a degree in the social sciences. And I tried to go back and do some good because I'm a very giving person. I don't stop giving. People say to me sometimes, "What about you, Mick?" I say, "Don't matter about me. It's the others." I decided to help out. I thought I'll go back and help the kids. I'm from the hood. I can connect with these kids. Be a teacher. Because I'd seen the films, you know, with Sidney Poitier. Where they go into the tough inner city comp and they turn it around. And it's all, "Well done, sir. Thank you for turning up. You changed everything." The reality is, they shit in your desk. morale crusher, the shit in the desk. Oh, that's lovely. I suppose the thing was I had to be a grown-up, and that was hard for me. I'm not the most grown-up person in the world. I'm walking down the corridor on my first day. Fat kid fell over. I'm on him like a shot. Bundle! How can you not? They had an inclusive policy. For those of you who don't know this, this means that you have a whole range of abilities in your classroom. You have the very intelligent ones and you have the more challenged ones as well. They say it's not a problem, just differentiate your material. They'll stay on board. So the bright ones, 10 tough questions, bosh, that's them done. The more challenged ones, I just used to let them spin in my chair. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but I was under pressure. I kept asking, I'll spin in your chair, son. Yes, you can. I shall spin you. There you go. I'm like the geezer on the waltzer. I'm spinning kids for money. It's funny, isn't it? It's a horrible word, isn't it? Slag. No one says it anymore. Thank God for that. Slag, people used to say. See her, she's a slag. Some poor cat slept with 3 people. What a slag. It's fantastic that it's been kicked into touch. Women can do what they like now. I was watching a show the other night called Sex Box. Very good show. And there was a very nice young girl on there, and she said to the presenter, I love cock. She said, I like a big cock as well, and I quite like a pounding from a big cock. I thought the world has definitely changed in my time. That's got to be a funny old walk into work in the morning, isn't it? I saw you on the telly last night, Trace. You came across lovely, you did. You came across lovely. Your hair looked nice. Did your mum and dad watch it? Did your mum and dad watch it? So, I'm making the sandwich. I thought, right, let's set the mood. Let's have a little bit of a mood enhancer. Let's have a little bit of ambiance. Now, I've been through the radio stations in my life, like a lot of people in my age. I started off with Radio 1 when I was young and funky and happening. When I grew up a bit, I went to Radio 2. Let's grow up. I tried 3. Christ knows what all that's about. And sometimes I listen to 4. But a few years ago, I made a discovery and I found the station I really love. Magic FM! My easy listening channel. You can reach me by sailboat. Climb a tree and swing rope to rope. I don't care how you get here, Jules. Get here if you can. If you're not into magic, do yourself a favour and get into it. Because you put it on and you relax. Before you know it, you're just walking about. It's nice, isn't it? And they're like your mate as well. They talk to you during the day. If you live on your own, they're great. I was doing my ironing the other day. The chap said, we'll be playing John Denver next. Yeah, that's okay with you. Yeah, stick it on, bruv. You do whatever you like. Just action. They have to do the news. They don't want to do the news because they know it'll upset you. But they are professional, crafty. They slip it in. Chap said the other day, passenger-carrying aircraft has crashed into the Atlantic Ocean. Rescue services say there is little hope of finding any survivors. But never you mind, here's Bill Withers, a lovely day. When I wake up in the morning, low, and the sunlight hurts mine. You're back in, bosh. You're untouchable with magic. So I'm sitting there. Sandwich is made, cup of tea's made. Listen to what the geezer said on the magic. He went, a bit of a medical report here. Those of you who have been eating more than 20 grams of processed meat on a daily basis for the last 30 years
have got a 13% higher chance of getting pancreatic cancer. Here's Terry Jackson, Seasons in the Sun. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the joy... Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. But, Toby, talk about made me paranoid because I thought, that is me, that statistic. I've been growing up eating this meat all my life. Of all the things I didn't think I had to worry about in the 70s, I worried about the IRA, VD. No, you know what I should have been worried about? Spam! That little tin of spam in the cupboard. Murdering tin of spam. Because I grew up eating this meat. Like a lot of mums, my mum was skint on a Thursday. And she'd say to me, pop round the corner shop, get me a nice big tin of spam. Tell her you'll pay her Friday. And I'd be halfway down the stairs and then the worst request would come. And while you're round there, get me a packet of Dr. White's. Number 3. Now this is the request I didn't want to hear. Because when you're 9 years old, you know it's something to do with the toilet area, but you're not sure what. You feel a bit ashamed, don't you? But you can't hide Dr. White's. You've got to come back with them on your shoulder, loud and proud. You've got to bowl back through the flats. You've got to front it out. There's only 4 in there. And the old boys would go past, oh, Mikey, Michael. Mummy on the blob again, is she? Comes round lively son, doesn't it? I don't know what that means, Albert. For the younger people in the room who don't know what I'm talking about, the Dr. White was the sanitary towel of choice for the girl about town in the 1970s. But they didn't have any wings. They had a belt. It hung on the back of the bathroom door. It went through the front loop, through the back loop, she tied it off, bosh, sorted. But she wasn't going rollerblading, that's for sure. She certainly weren't going swimming, boom, straight to the bottom. A lot of women weren't allowed out. There was a certain man who wouldn't have it. He'd come in the pub, proper, Saturday night. All right, Ted, Mary coming out? Not tonight, no. She'd only cause an atmosphere. So I am properly paranoid now. I think I'm a sick man, I bet I've got that. So I phoned up the doctors, got through, got an appointment. And I don't go to the doctors a lot, I try and avoid it like the plague, I don't like lying. Could you tell me your alcohol consumption, Mr. Flanagan? I could, yes. I'm not going to. I went walking in. I've not met this doctor before. He said, I've seen you on the TV a number of times. I said, never mind about all that, mate. I'm riddled with cancer. He said, blimey, how'd you know? I said, it was on Magic the other day. And they don't mess about. Now look lively, no time to lose. He said, you've got yourself in a bit of a state, my friend, haven't you? He said, and I'm going to give you some reassurance today. We'll do your heart rate, we'll do your blood pressure. And he said, and while I've got you here, let's give your prostate a little tickle, shall we? Now this is the sentence no middle-aged man wants to hear. You certainly don't want to hear the word tickle in it. It's a bit unprofessional as it happens. And when a man tells you he's going to do this, you look at his hands. And who have I got? Pat Jennings. Pat Jennings. The biggest hands in professional football. Why can't I get Jeremy Beadle? Why can't I get the little hand? No, I get Jennings. You could see I was in a bit of a state. He said, get up on that table over there, my friend. He said, pull your trousers and pants right down round your ankles and bring your knees tight to your chest and relax. I said, yeah, that's what I'll do, bruv. So why don't you get me a copy of Grazia from the waiting room? I'll have a little read while you're doing it, yeah? This is where it all got a bit bizarre, because he went over to his workstation area there, and he put the glove on. I heard the pump of the lube. And he sort of bounded across the thing. He sort of came across a bit like a sword fence or something, like a ballet dance. We sort of went... And he landed right on my shoulder. His full weight come down. I thought, blimey, he's going to shear me, isn't he? I think he was trying to make me feel secure. And as the finger went in, could have been a finger, could have been a pedal bin for all I know. I've got no sense of perspective down there. Oh, and there was an awkward silence in the room. There's no greater awkward silence in the world than when a man's rummaging around in your arsehole. Oh, it's a tough one. He's having a proper sweep. And to break the awkward silence, he says to me, oh, but of course, I could never do your job. And I was thinking, oh, I wonder if he wants to wank me off.
But we do get on very, very well. Now, one of her favourite things is to go to a restaurant. She loves the restaurant. She's very middle class. She loves the restaurant. She says, can we go to a restaurant? And I say, of course we can. And we go to the restaurant. She says, isn't it a lovely ambiance? And I say to her, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've worked out what an ambiance is. It's a night out without poor people. It's the people with a few quid saying, can we just have one night without the poor people turning up? You know what they're like, they'll be banging a couple of spoons together, singing My Man's a Dustman, creating an atmosphere. You know they love an atmosphere, Russ Abbott said it. I'm trying to enjoy the ambiance, but it's somewhat spoilt for me. I've noticed there's no tomato sauce on the table. My wife looked at me, she said, you're going to ask for tomato sauce, aren't you? I said, of course I am. I'm having the risotto. Can't eat risotto without red sauce, it's too dry. It's dangerous. It's a health and safety issue. You've got to zhuzh it up, as Jamie says, zhuzh it up. Bit of red sauce. So I said to the waitress, excuse me, have you got any ketchup in the building? She looked at me like I'm the biggest pleb who's ever walked in that restaurant. She walked off, she came back with what she'd rustled up. Hot about that big, 2 chipfuls of tomatoes. She tried to put it down and walk away like she's doing a drug deal. I stopped and said, oh, don't rush off, love, don't go anywhere. And I took a sip of it. And I looked her in the eye. I said, yes, I'll have a bottle, please. Now, if I don't talk to her for a couple of days, she don't like it. She takes it personal. And I can feel it brewing. And as I come in the house, I think, oh, she's going to want to talk. She says to me, come and sit by the island and tell me a story. She says, you must have a story for me. As if I'm an endless supply of stories. Like a lot of men, I used all my stories up years ago. I've kept a few back for holidays. Because they're torture, aren't they? And they torture 14 nights staring at each other. All hot and burnt. What do you mean, what have I been up to? I've been with you! You start talking absolute nonsense to each other, don't you? You just say anything. I think my flip-flops are breaking, babe. When we turned up, they were flipping and flopping. One of them's flapping a little bit now. You see other couples, don't you? And you just look at them. Come over here! Save us! Just come over! Help! She looked at me in a moment of terrible desperation. On the last holiday, she said, I saw a 3-legged dog in the village earlier. I said, babe, I don't know where we go with this. It's like, you know, I could normally find something, but I don't know where we go with a 3-legged dog, you know.
I'm just saying, that's all, I'm just saying. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for coming out this evening, coming to the Wild West End. Always a pleasure. I'm from the East End of London. Like most East End kids, I messed up my education because they left the gate open. And I left school with a bottle opener that I'd made in the 3rd year. Two biggest departments in our school were the woodwork department and the metalwork department. So I made the metal bit in the metalwork department. And I took it across to the woodwork department. I went interdepartmental. And I said to the teacher, "Sir, do you mind if I put a wooden handle on this?" He said, "You are a fucking natural, son." He said, "I think things are going to work out for you." Could I sum up my school in one sort of fairly succinct way by pointing out what happened when the careers officer came? He came to our school and he asked us what we'd like to do with our lives. The most ambitious kid in the class was Gary Hutton, because he wanted to drive a van. We erupted, we're like, "You fucking dreamer, Hutton! You were never going to drive a van! You would have to write to Jimmy Savile for that stuff, man. Only Jimmy can fix that stuff. Come on, man. No kid from this school has ever got on to drive a van. This school is here to produce the people who carry the stuff to the van. Right, so I leave school with a bottle opener. Well, that was our school as well. What sums up? We made ashtrays in the 2nd year. We made bottle openers in the 3rd year. And we made prams in the 4th year. You got to sort yourself out for the future, ain't you, eh? I left school, I did a little bit of travelling. I went to Spain, Mallorca, and Menorca. Spain was a bit shit when we turned up, wasn't it? It was all tapas and sangria. We knocked that out of them a bit lively. We introduced the Spanish to a bit of culture. Set breakfast, bingo. Bit of cabaret in the evening. I know this is not very much anymore, just to keep going to Spain, but I like Spain. I know where everything is. I've got friends who are not happy with their lives at all. I've got loads of friends, and my friend turned to me about 2 years ago and he said, "Things haven't worked out at Argos." He said, "Doesn't look like I'm going to make area manager, and I've decided to throw the towel and I've had enough. I'm going to go backpacking." So he disappears off around the world for a year backpacking. Comes back, gives me a call. Wants to meet me in Wetherspoons on a curry Thursday. Because he wants to eat and drink for a fiver now. And he's not a holiday bore. He's travelled, so he has important information to impart. So he's got me trapped in Weathers. Very serious man now. He's all beads, bangles and Buddhism. He's like, "I know who I am now." And I'm like, "Well, you're unemployed, but we won't look into that in a moment." He said, "Oh, man, I have had the time of my life. I have been through fundamental changes." He said, "I first went to Thailand." He said, "Thailand's a fascinating place. It's fascinating." He said to me, "Do you know in Thailand, it's considered rude to point at people with your feet?" I'm like, oh, well, thanks for telling me that. There's no doubt I shall be straight off the plane. Oi, you. Yes, you in the robes over there. He said, oh, I see. Still hiding behind the pain with laughter. He's got very serious on me. He said, let me tell you. He said, oh, my God. He said, I went to India next. He said, the poverty. The poverty was unbelievable. He said, in India, I met people who had no hope and no future. And I'm like, well, we could have come straight to the Weatherspoons, really, couldn't we? Yeah. You like hanging about with people who've given up. Monday lunchtime, Weatherspoons. He said, I can't believe you're actually joking about this. He said, I can't. So he got really serious on me now. These people are not happy unless they're really getting to you. So he said, no. He said, you don't understand what horrors I saw in India. I saw a leper boy who'd been gaffer taped to a skateboard. Arms fallen off. Propelling himself along the road with a drumstick between his teeth. He said, now, are you going to tell me that's funny? I said, it's a little bit funny. He said, oh, my God, he said, you're typical of the people I've met since my return, and you're an example of why I can never be happy in the UK again, because of people like you. You have no understanding of what's going on in the world, no empathy or compassion for others. He said, let me tell you something you may not know, and I know. These people who have nothing, in a strange way, they're happier than we are. I lost it at that point. I've had enough of this. I said, well, the thing is, they've never had to end an NTL subscription, have they? Can we talk about my year for a little while? So, I'm into my 40s now. I messed up my education. I do a bit of travelling. I do various dead-end jobs. But mostly, I spent most of the 80s. The 80s was the decade when I was an international lover, player. A lover of women. I'd made love with women as far afield as Cardiff. Cornwall. I got a girl to wank me off on the Isle of Wight. And that was a day trip. And, this is the level of expertise you're dealing with. The younger fellas don't realise how easy they've got it. This was back in the day when you had to try hard. You really had to treat a lot. You had the odd result. I mean, I'd occasionally go out. I might meet an older woman who might want to sort of like sort me out. That was always a bit terrifying. You know, lost in Chingford with a 30-year-old woman. These women used to take me home, and this one said to me one night, she said, oi, fuckface. Quality, she was quality. She took me back to her habitat home. She looked at me across the room, she said, oi, you, I like it a bit rough. I'm thinking, well, how rough? What's me marker, love? But I jumped in. I was keen back then, 17 years of age, I thought I'll sort her out. This is what I found out. If you meet a woman who likes it a bit rough, when you're taking her from behind, a little pull on the hair, that's erotic. They like that. However, a short, sharp punch to the kidneys, that's assault, apparently. All I'm saying to the younger fellas is be careful. Take it up in stages. If she says I like it a bit rough, don't go and put your kung fu pyjamas on. You're threatening me, love. I'll give you a fucking roundabout. Women can do what they like now. I was watching a show the other night called Sex Box. Very good show. And there was a very nice young girl on there, and she said to the presenter, I love cock. She said, I like a big cock as well. And I quite like a pounding from a big cock. I thought the world has definitely changed in my time. That's got to be a funny old walk into work in the morning, isn't it? I saw you on the telly last night, Trace. You came across lovely, you did. You came across lovely. Your hair looked nice. Did your mum and dad watch it? Did your mum and dad watch it? They've asked me to go on the TV quite a lot. I've turned quite a lot of shows down. Here's a few. Would I like to go on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? I said I'd rather eat my own shit. They said you'll walk it, son. You will walk it. That's the attitude we're looking for. Come on, eat the fucking shit, lad. Eat the fucking shit. I can do Northern. Would I like to go on a show called Who Do You Think You Are? I said that sounds like the start of a fight where I come from. You hear that in the booze of your back off, didn't ya? Every Friday night about 10:30, regular as clockwork. Who do you think you are? Who do you fucking think you are? I'll come over there! Always fascinated me how long it took an 18-stone man to get across a boozer. With his little 8-stone girlfriend holding him back. Don't tell me you'll kill him, don't fucking hold me back! Well, hold me back a little bit. Don't hold me back! Would I like to go on the Great British Bake Off? I said, oh, fuck off, will ya? Well, I look like a man who wants to bake a cake. You catch yourself watching it, don't you? You think, fuck, I'm watching a bakery programme. And so you go, what am I doing? Babe, there's only another bakery programme on the telly. Well, turn it over then. Oh, no, let's not be too hasty. See how this fella gets on. Bernard's sponge has sunk in the middle. He's opened the oven door too many times, I reckon. Very common. And I go to bed and I get up about 6ish, so I watch the chase, you know, great. And then now it's time for the evening, you know. My wife and I made all sorts of promises to ourselves that on my year off we were going to go to theatres and galleries and do all this stuff. We didn't. We watched the telly. We like a bit of telly indoors. We're not ashamed of it. People are pompous and they go, oh, I haven't got a TV. I always go, no, I ain't got any books. Yeah, that, all those words and ideas strung together to create stories and theories. Fuck that for a laugh. Put the telly on. We've got 3 levels of viewing in our house. We've got a family viewing, Bake Off, X Factor, that sort of stuff. There's my stuff, which I shall be watching later, once she's gone to bed. All the quality gear. Etc. Parking wars. Can't pay, we'll take it away. Anything where it might kick off. And then we've got what we call our shows. They're few and far between. These are shows that my wife and I can enjoy as a couple. They come up very, very rarely. And if me and my wife see one, I say, babe, our show, our show. And she goes, yeah, our show, our show. And we give each other a high five and we agree we're going to watch this show as a couple, never individually. This is a lovely agreement to make, but it does mean that it can be years before I get through a box set, because she goes to bed at 8:30.
She stands up in the middle of an episode. I've got to go to bed, babe. I'm absolutely shattered, she says. Absolutely shattered. Now, you younger men have probably got girlfriends who'll stay up quite late, 11 o'clock, things like that, you know, like 3 episodes. You're going to get married and have children. She's going to go back to work. You're going to get a lot of this. About 8:30, you get, oh, I've got to go to bed, babe. I'm absolutely shattered. You must never say at that point, why is that then? Why are you so tired, babe?
Because most people who work in service stations at the moment are addicted to crystal meth. They are. They're addicted to meth. It's mad, isn't it? I know you're going, fucking hell, I never knew about that, bruv. It's because of the isolation and the dislocation, they don't feel part of mainstream society. They're very vulnerable to dealers. It was on the One show the other night. She came out, she said, coming up next to report, Daddy. About addiction to crystal meth in a service station at the moment. I know, it's uncanny, isn't it? You're thinking, how does he do it? How did you just lock into accents like that? Gosh, he's straight in.
Because we had the little boy, right? And, you know, I've done a lot of childcare with him. And it's quite hard, the childcare, because my wife's very middle class. He's quite an organic little boy. You know, everything's checked and double-checked. So she goes out, she goes, there's some activities on the side. And I've left him some organic raisins. Oh, lovely. Well done. We'll crack on with that. And when she goes out, I say to him, go and get yourself 2 fingers of Kit Kat. And a little glass of orange juice. I say, don't water it down. When he comes back, we put on ITV4 and we watch On the Buses together. Because I want him to know where he comes from. He loves it. He loves a bit of On the Buses. But he's got no concept of dishonesty. So I say to him after, don't say nothing to Mummy about the bus programme and the Kit Kat and that. And he goes, nah, I won't say nothing, Dad. He's walked in the kitchen the other day. Bold as brass, walked in the kitchen. Looked at the wife. Get a bus out, Mum, get a bus out. They said it couldn't happen, people. They said a comedian could not get a laugh from Blakey in 2011. You saw it here, people. You were part of history. Got to keep him alive, Blakey. A show my wife and I found that we thoroughly enjoy is called First Dates. It's a really nice show for couples. You can watch it all coupled up. It's lovely. Glass of wine, lovely. So there was an elderly couple on there, very elderly couple, probably 70, 80 years of age. My wife's had nearly a whole bottle of wine now, but she's left a little bit in the bottom, so she's not got a problem. I go and open another one. She says, we're not drinking all that. I said, oh, no, you're going to bed and I'm going to finish it off. You know the rules, sister. You know the rules. She stopped the thing. She said, here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. How old's the oldest lady you think you could have sex with? So I had a little think about it. I said, 80, I reckon. No, not 80. I based this on what I call the Mary Berry effect. There's not a man in this room who ain't watched Bake Off and thought, I don't know. There's something about Mary. She's a sexy little thing. I have this fantasy of meeting her one night and going home and having mad, mature sex. And we wake up in the morning all in bits and she looks across and goes, I'm going to bake you a cake. I think you've either gone to heaven, wouldn't you? Hour later, she comes in, Victoria sponge, baby doll 90. She's got one tit resting on it. See anything you like, Tubbsy? I'm going to talk about sex for a little while. Strap in. Isn't it funny now? Sex, everyone's fucking gone sex mad, haven't they? Every time are you having the best sex? Are you having the longest sex? You having the fucking hardest sex? Woo! I blame pornography. Consumption of pornography. It's got out of hand. You couldn't get it in the 70s. You couldn't get it. It was illegal. Men had to go to a dirty cinema, didn't they? They got a Mac and cut the pockets out of it. And they used to have a pair of trousers that they cut the top bit off and just tied it above their knees. I know you're thinking he knows a lot about this, doesn't he? But no, they were called the Dirty Mac Brigade, and they'd go in the cinema, right, and put their hands in their pockets. They'd see like a manual 2 or something, have a proper polish. That's what men did. I'm giving it to you in the street here, people. Then you get to the 80s. Sadly, much more common pornography because you had people we got the video recorder turned up, didn't it? And suddenly you could get a film. Every factory, every warehouse had a bit of a nonce in it. Geezer who reproduced them. In our factory, it was a geezer called Colin the Polisher. And he'd come up and go, I've got some films, Mick, for the weekend, got some films. They're blinding. They're from the continent. He only had 3 teeth, fuck me. Mahogany, yew and dark oak. And use them as a colour chart. Do you want the mahogany, the dark oak? He was a proper nonce. Do you want a film for the weekend? And what you did was you got the film for the weekend, £3, something like that, and you took it home and you plied the wife with Martini the Bianco. Right? And then about 10:30, 11, you went, I've got a film in work, babe. I don't know if you fancy watching it. I'm not even it might be good, worth watching. You put the film on, suddenly you're watching a man with a huge donger go on for hours. And you're thinking, this might have backfired a little bit. This is not natural, babe, is it? The way that man's shaping up, that means very well. Let's cut to the present day. Pornography consumed all day long by people. Hardcore pornography, horrible pornography, aggressive pornography. It's reached the point where when teenagers have sex for the first time, they try and strangle each other. Is this it? I thought it was going to be more fun than this. And they call it puppy love. Teenage pregnancy is nothing new, is it? You know, it's been in the news lately about they want the teenager to abstain and things like that. But teenagers were still shagging each other back in the 70s, but they got married if they got someone pregnant. You met your mate down the pub and say, oh, you know that Tracy? You know, I told you I fucked her. She's having a baby. You go, oh, well, that's you finished then, isn't it? Do you want a game of pool? Lives in the balance. I like nudity indoors. I don't like public nudity. I've tried it. Me and my wife went on a little Greek holiday once and she talked me into going to the bleeding nudist beach. Now, there's a problem if you're a male from the UK. You've been covering your penis up for legal reasons all of your adult life. And suddenly you're just walking about in front of people. And the penis is not having it. It goes, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to get us nicked. And it hides in the pubes. And suddenly you're standing there with a vagina. This is nice. Because you can't do what you do after 5-a-side or swimming, where most men give it a little tug and liven it up a little bit. You just have to use the powers of concentration to get it somewhere between flaccid and lob-on, somewhere right in the middle. I'm laying there on the sunbed, I'm in bits. I'm trying to maintain some sort of dignity. I looked at my wife, I said, this is the worst day of my life. I need a drink. I said, I'm going to that bar at the back. Do you think you have to put your clothes on? She said, don't be stupid, it's a nudist beach. I went bowling into the bar. You do have to put your clothes on.
Never has a lager taken so long to pour. Slow realisation. Everyone else has got their clothes on. Gracias.
So, it's creating problems with couples. I met an eminent sex therapist, right, as part of my latest Sky show, and I was talking to her about the consumption of pornography. She said it's causing big problems with couples, Mick, big problems. She said we're having a major issue with pegging, right? Pegging, right, for those who don't know, is when the female of the species, who is more deadly than the male, right, she puts on a strap-on dildo and she penetrates the man anally. Not annually, that's a completely different thing, right? She pays into it. So the women are seeing it and thinking, I fancy a bit of that. But there's a lot of men who don't want to be pegged. It's creating tension amongst couples, right? So I said to the sex therapist, she's top of her game, she does TED Talks, she knows what she's talking about. I said, right, you've got a couple. The woman wants to peg, the man don't want to be pegged. What's your advice? She said, Michael, I tell him to try it at least once. I said, well, how does this help? So she said, it's good for the man, because the first time in his sexual life, he has to partake in an act that he's not particularly keen on, yet has to show some level of appreciation for. I thought, right, I'm getting it. Right on, sister. I said, but given that the dildo is rubberised and has no sensation, what's really going on here? She said, Michael, this is about control, power, but ultimately, revenge. I said, revenge? She said, yes. I said, revenge for what? She said, I believe this is revenge for the facial, right? So I said, revenge for the facial. So she said, yes. She said, for many, many years, men were happy to ejaculate on the breasts. This was the holy grail. It was called a pearl necklace, right? This was their big aim. She said, but they're not happy now unless the woman ends up looking like a plasterer's radio at the end of the session. You know, she's got to be a current bun in the sun before anyone's had a good time. And women are sick of it. What I'm trying to say, lads, is if at some point in the not too distant future you catch yourself over the kitchen table, farting on a dishcloth, while she tears into you, you sort of brought it on yourself, ain't you, really? So, I thought I'd do that bit at the next Royal Variety performance. What do you think? Yeah? I won't be doing that again. They keep on asking me to do it. I'm not bowing and scraping in front of that big-eared cunt. No fucking way. Here's a counter-voiced royal family. Fuck off the lot of you. Get a job. Because we had the little boy, right? And, I've done a lot of childcare with him. And it's quite hard, the childcare, because my wife's very middle class. He's quite an organic little boy. Everything's checked and double-checked. So she goes out, she goes, there's some activities on the side. And I've left him some organic raisins. Oh, lovely. Well done. We'll crack on with that. And when she goes out, I say to him, go and get yourself 2 fingers of Kit Kat. And a little glass of orange juice. I say, don't water it down. When he comes back, we put on ITV4 and we watch On the Buses together. Because I want him to know where he comes from. He loves it. He loves a bit of On the Buses. But he's got no concept of dishonesty. So I say to him after, don't say nothing to Mummy about the bus programme and the Kit Kat and that. And he goes, nah, I won't say nothing, Dad. He's walked in the kitchen the other day. Bold as brass, walked in the kitchen. Looked at the wife.
They said it couldn't happen, people. They said a comedian could not get a laugh from Blakey in 2011. You saw it here, people. You were part of history. Gotta keep him alive, Blakey. So me and the wife love each other, but she gets a bit upset about my immaturity. She says, you're immature. She said, you're peeping out the curtains. You're showing people your cock. You don't say hello to no one. Because I found this grown-up bit quite hard to deal with. I'm not a monster, but I want to have a laugh. And that adult life is so dull, isn't it? So she goes out, and I'm walking about now. What's going on here? And the phone goes. And every fibre in my being tells me, everything I know to be right and wrong informs me, I must not answer that phone like a Chinese man. But in some mind your language corridor of my mind, some Benny Hill room where the door is never quite closed properly, I think that'll be a laugh. Answer the phone like a Chinese person. And I can feel myself doing it. I'm having an out-of-body experience. I'm floating above myself. Don't do it, I say. Don't do it. Hello! No, she's not here. And I have a breakaway conversation for authenticity. Ting tang ying yao ma. Ting tang tang ying yao ma. No, she goes ba-ba. She like a pampering, innit? Ta-ta. The wife comes home. She says, what you doing? She said, why are people in work asking me if I'm married to a Japanese man? I don't know, maybe it's because I'm an asshole. So she said, we need to talk. I thought, oh, here we go. Now, when I was at university, I read philosophy for a year, and I read Kierkegaard. He's a Danish philosopher. He believes we live our lives moving forward, understanding by looking back. Because living a life and understanding occupies separate dimensions, because your experiences always overwhelm you before they can be processed. So, I rejigged some Kierkegaard on her. I thought, I've got to put this to bed. I want to listen to Desert Island Disc, have a cup of coffee. I turned to her, I said, listen, sister. Listen, I think you'll find the people who take the longest to grow up on this planet ultimately end up the finest adults, all right? Job done. I turn away, enjoying the victory. She's on the ropes. That was good. She's thinking, that was good. The kitchen windows only missed it up. I couldn't help myself. I just had to draw a cock on it. And to show her I was trying, I didn't put any spunk coming out the top. I just think people are a bit thicker and selfish now, aren't they, generally? People are thick as shit now, aren't they? Self-centred. I'm thick as shit! Thick people used to hide, didn't they? You never met many thick people. They used to be hidden, didn't they? Don't let him out, he's thick. Take him home, he's thick. Take her home, thick as shit. Now, they come on the telly. Hey! I'm thick as shit! Can I be on your telly? Where's Africa? Oh, fuck you, I can't even read. And I'm not talking about the people on these Benefit Street programmes these Channel 5 fuckers make, you know, where they claim we're making a serious documentary about modern Britain. There's a man here on a tyre at 11:30 in the morning with a can of cider. Oh my God. And I watch those shows and think, I want to live on that street. That's the street for me. I wonder if White D's got a spare room going. There's a show on TV now, drives me up the wall. It's called Eat Well for Less.
This is a show for people who don't know how to go shopping. How'd you go shopping? We're spending too much on our shopping. This is the show. They've got the lovely Greg Wallace on there. We love Greg, top man. He's there like that, he's there, Greg. Whoa. He's got a bit of a sidekick. Savvy, the sidekick. He's got all the stats. He goes, Greg, thousands of families in the UK at the moment spiralling into debt because they're spending too much on their shopping. Greg's like, you're fucking joking! Let's sort it out! Let me drink all this custard and we'll go and sort it out, right? And he drinks a whole bucket of custard. He's proper fired up now. He goes tearing down the street. Come on, let's sort it out! He goes walking down the street. Let's sort it out! He gets to this woman's house and he rings on the bell. She comes. He goes, get out of my way, you! He just goes in the house and he looks in the cupboard. He goes, oh, fuck off, will ya? 6 packets of pasta in one cupboard. Who needs 6 packets of pasta? She's like, I know, Greg, we're out of control, babe, we're out of control. And what am I, I'm gluten-free by choice. There was a dozy old man over in the background and he's like that. Greg says, why don't you say something when she spends all this money? Oh, I don't want to upset her, Greg. Oh, I don't want to upset her. There's the kids. Are you going to help us, Mr. Wallace? We ain't had no shoes for 2 years. Just means it all on salmon fillets and bingo. He says, right, let's sort it out. Let's sort it out. Let's go shopping. He takes them to the shops, right? Come on, let's go shopping. And they go shopping. They do a weekly shop. He goes, right, let's go home. It's good. Let's go home. Come on. And they go home. They put the shopping out on the table. This is the breakthrough moment. This is where everything changes. This is what the licence fee's all about. This is what it's for. He picks up a yoghurt, right, own brand. He says to the family, you see these? They taste the same, but they cost less. The family erupt at this information. The wife starts crying, I can't believe it! They taste the same, but they cost less! Oh, what sort of a mum have I been? The old man's punching the kitchen door. They taste the same, but they cost less! They taste the same, but they cost less! I've let everyone down! The kids are dancing around the table. Oh, they taste the same, but they cost less! They taste the same, but they cost less! They taste the same, but they cost less! Neighbours are banging on the wall. What's all this? They taste the same and they cost less! Why did we hear about this? African neighbour comes to the window. They taste the same! But they cost less! I don't believe it! What they bargain? I don't know where he came from. I was starting to worry that Mr. Ahmed was looking like a token. All right, so I thought I'd follow an African mate for him for a bit of balance. If I can just find something for the traveller community, we're covered. So Greg, right, he says to this family, look, if you lot take on board all my advice, every month you can save £3. You could have holiday. You could go camping. Can you imagine that show getting made in the 1970s? Some urban knocking on my mum's door. Hello, Mrs. Flanagan. I'm from the BBC. We were wondering if we could make a show that makes you look like you're thick as shit. Oh, was ya? Cop for that. Now, fuck off, you Oxbridge cunt. Be strong, Mick, be strong.